For the duration of this offseason so far, Chicago Cub fans have argued back and forth on what is the missing piece for the Chicago Cubs pitching rotation, especially starters. Well, guys, I think Bruce Levine has identified who the Chicago Cubs should go after. We'll answer the question, is he the missing link? And can he lead the Chicago Cubs to the promised land? Let's talk about it right after this. Welcome in, Chicago Cubs family. It's your boy, Mike Jones, back again with another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, your number one spot for all things Chicago Cubs. Hey, listen, man, if you guys are watching this video for the first time, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Welcome to the channel. Also, if you guys are repeat offenders and you constantly watch, I appreciate it. First and foremost, thank you, thank you. Secondly, please make sure that you guys comment below as well as like the video. Smash that like button for your boys so that you make sure that it goes up on your YouTube algorithms, on your Spotify algorithms, on your X algorithms, and wherever you might be looking at this podcast. Appreciate you so much, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It means the world to me. Now, with that being said, Tatsuya Imai is someone that Bruce Levine has identified as the missing link for the Chicago Cubs this offseason. He is the piece that Bruce believes will help bring the Chicago Cubs to glory. Again, Tatsuya Imai is somebody that the Chicago Cubs have been heavily rumored and favored to land. Also, the New York Mets, also the San Francisco Giants, also other teams as well as Texas have all been identified as potential pieces and landing spots for Tatsuya Imai to be recruited under and to sign with this coming off season. So we're going to talk about not only what Imai brings to the table, but how he was fit in and where he was slot in this pitching rotation. We'll look at the numbers of all of our veteran starters and our rookie starter from this last past season, as well as what Tatsuya Imai did in NBP, and then from there in PB, and what he did from there, and then we'll also kind of look at things and see where he will land. So the Chicago Cubs do already have 4 starters, 5th if you really count Justin Steele, but we don't know when he'll be returning in 2026. We know the plan is for him to pitch in 2026, but they're going to take it slow with him. He'll spend some time in AAA, building his arm strength back up, and then we'll see where he goes from there. But Chicago Cubs are not short in starting pitching. I mean, they also have Colin Ray on the inside looking out this year so far, and he's somebody else that would like to crack this starting rotation again, but he's also willing to go wherever the Chicago Cubs need him to go. You also have other pieces too, like Javier Assad, that want to crack this Chicago Cubs pitching rotation with another shot at that also. So the Chicago Cubs have plenty of options when it comes to starting pitching, but these are the mainstays, the guys that we believe will absolutely pitch for the Chicago Cubs, starting pitch for the Chicago Cubs in 2026. We're looking at Cade Horton, who is the rookie breakout arm that basically carried the Chicago Cubs through the second half of the season. I mean, he was phenomenal, finished second in Rookie of the Year voting. Then the steady veteran left-hander, that was Matthew Boyd, somebody that could have won Comeback Player of the Year had this been a different sport, because, man, did he show you guys what he was capable of. He ran out of gas towards the end there, got kind of iffy, but for the majority of the season, he was a dependable arm that could come in, and he just dominated. And then, of course, you have the doable right-hander, when healthy, Jameson Taillon. Jameson Taillon is somebody that the Chicago Cubs have depended on since he signed here. And when he's healthy, he's good. When he ain't healthy, it's really, really shaky. I mean, that just is what it is. And then, of course, you have Shota Imanaga, Chicago Cubs resident lover boy, somebody that everybody enjoys. He's hilarious, he's funny, he's endeared himself to the audience, to the crowd, to the fans, as well as to the locker room. And everybody, I think, loves Shota Imanaga. However, everybody did not love Shota Imanaga's performance in 2025. We are hoping that he can go back and reclaim some of what he had in 2024, because his 2025 performance was nothing like 2024. So let's look at, actually speaking of 2025, let's look at what these pitchers did. So Cade Horton, first and foremost, broke out huge in 2025. He finished 2025 at 11-4 with a 2.67 ERA, striking out 97 batters in 118 innings, posting a 1.08 whip over 22 starts. Guys, listen, that was a breakout season, but there's some injury risk there after he dealt with the rib injury late in the year. That rib contusion that he got, I guess, from coughing too hard because he was sick on the road, cost the Chicago Cubs. We missed him dearly in both those series. I really believe that we would have been able to finish out the Padres and in 2 games and probably have pushed that Milwaukee series and won that Milwaukee series handily had we had Cade Horton able to come in and start for the Chicago Cubs. So we missed him dearly. So it's going to be very important, especially with this health injuries in the past, even before he was a major leaguer. He had injuries even when he was down in AAA. I think 2026, the main focus for Cade Horton is to try to make every start possible. I understand that we have Javier Assad, we have Colin Ray, we will have Justin Steele all waiting in the wings, pitchers that want to pitch for the Chicago Cubs, starting pitch for the Chicago Cubs this season. However, Cade Horton has to stay healthy this season. He was a huge part in 2025. And in order for him to build off of what he did in 2025, he's gonna have to stay healthy in 2026. His best availability, his best ability is his availability. Then we got the veteran Matthew Boyd, who gave the Cubs exactly what they needed: reliability. Good old reliable. He went 14-8 with a 3.21 ERA, racking up 154 strikeouts and 183 innings, finishing with a strong 1.09 whip. He was an innings eating, strikeout missing bat kind of arm that just really guided the Chicago Cubs team. He did have a couple clunkers throughout the season, but every pitcher does. No pitcher is going to come out and give you every single start be amazing. I mean, like I said, even the best have struggled. I mean, Paul Skeens struggled against the Cubs all season long. And, Tariq Skubal did all right against the Chicago Cubs. But like I said, we also watched them struggle against other teams too. So when you look at that, you say to yourself, okay, Matthew Boyd. And here's the one thing I want to point out about Matthew Boyd. This broke earlier this week, but Matthew Boyd is actually going to pitch for Team USA in the World Baseball Classic. And I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about that at all. Now, I understand that some people might think like, okay, well, this is going to fine tune him, have him come into the season ready to go. This is somebody that ran out of gas towards the end of our season last year when we really needed him most. He did not pitch his best baseball. So to me, we leaned on him heavily in 2025. I don't know that we'll lean on him as heavily in 2026, especially when Justin Steele returns. But even in Steele, I look at Matthew Boyd and I say to myself, we kind of need you to be healthy too this year. We need you to be healthy and strong. We need you to be ready to go for the Chicago Cubs this season. And I mean, I don't know if that means maybe potentially moving him to the bullpen when Justin Steele is ready to come back and having Matthew Boyd be an innings eater out of the bullpen for the Chicago Cubs, or somebody that just gets outs, a left-handed arm that just gets outs. I don't really know what that looks like, but I know one thing: he has to be available this year. He has to stay healthy, and it's asking a lot of him to make all of his starts, to considering he's somebody that's coming off of Tommy John surgery 2 years ago. He's somebody that has struggled with injury, but when he is healthy, he is productive. He's very productive for the Chicago Cubs. So he's a piece that you look at and you say to yourself, he's a big piece of what we did last year and the success that we had. And if we want to have even more success, which is what Bruce Levine is predicting the Chicago Cubs will have, veteran Matthew Boyd is going to have to be healthy and be a big part of that. Next up, let's look at Jameson Taillon, who held his own as well in 2025, 11-7 with a 3.68 ERA, 98 strikeouts, and 129 innings. Jameson Taillon got better and better and better and better throughout the second half of the season. He really found his groove, found what he was comfortable at, and dare say in the postseason, he was one of the best pitchers the Chicago Cubs had. Both games that he pitched in the playoffs for the Chicago Cubs last year, I mean, he was magnificent. Magnificent. And I looked at that and I said to myself, like, damn, that's why you go get somebody like Jameson Taillon, because it's not necessarily about what he does in the regular season. Like, he's going to have great starts in the regular season. But when the way Jameson Taillon prepared for the season, his training and everything like that, you saw the best version of him come out in the postseason. And I'm hoping that that carries over into 2026. And he gets a lot more swing and miss stuff. And he was just rock solid for the Chicago Cubs towards the end of the season. And then there's Shota Imanaga, the Chicago Cubs all-star ace, who in 2025 went 9-8 with a 3.73 ERA, struck out 117 batters in 144 and 2/3 innings, and led the staff with a stellar 0.99 whip before a late hamstring issue. So when you look at this, you say to yourself, Shota, we need more from you. We need you to be better. The Chicago Cubs, I honestly don't think the Chicago Cubs, and the Chicago Cubs is rumored out there, but I don't know. It could be true. It could not be true. But the Chicago Cubs didn't actually even expect Shota Imanaga to accept that offer. They expected him to actually not accept that Chicago Cubs qualifying offer and to go play elsewhere. But he ended up accepting it, and so the Chicago Cubs are in bed with Shota at least for one more season. And Shota wants to show what he can do for the Chicago Cubs. And again, I'm hoping that he can reclaim some of that former glory from 2024. Remember, Shota Imanaga might be and go moving into his third year as a Chicago Cubs pitcher. Shota Imanaga is no spring chicken. He has been pitching for a very long time. So again, he is somebody that's going to come and look to try to reclaim some of his former glory and bring some of what he has done in the past. Now, let's look at Imai, who in Japan's top league, the Pacific League, Tatsuya Imai was electric. He posted a 10-5 record with a dominant 1.92 ERA, 178 strikeouts, and 163 and 2/3 of an innings. He had a sub one whip, and he was one of the best in all of baseball playing overseas. So, listen, let me tell y'all something. Outside of Matthew Boyd, he would lead the team in every statistical category with those numbers. So, listen, let me tell you something. That's definitely why you want why the Chicago Cubs want to have somebody like him on the team, because of what he could potentially bring to this club. So, looking ahead to the 2026 projections, Fangraph steamer system for the Chicago Cubs arms looks like this. So Matthew Boyd is predicted around a 3.93 ERA. He pitches 183 innings. He has a 8.9 strikeout rate. Shota Imanaga projected around a 4.7 ERA, pitches 171 innings, an 8.17 strikeout rate. Jameson Taillon is projected near a 4.53 ERA, a 171 innings pitched, a 7.02 strikeout rate. And then Cade Horton is forecast for about 4.33 ERA, 143 innings pitched, a 7.88 strikeout rate for him. So Imai doesn't have a direct streamer line because he's in Japan, but the analyst transitions typically slot him as a probable number 3 starter with an MLB equivalent ERA in the mid threes, strong strikeout ability, but like I said, there is the usual NPB to MLB adjustment period that he might have to go through. So we'll just have to see what he has. I mean, guys, listen, even the reigning MVP of last year's World Series went through an adjustment period. So it's not above or beyond the idea of imagination that Imai would have to go through a period also where he has to adjust and figure things out. It's very capable that this could happen. However, the Chicago Cubs absolutely can contend with this. If Horton stays healthy and keeps the 80% of the 2025 magic, and if Boyd and Imanaga give you quality top 3 stability, you've got a playoff rotation foundation there. But let's be real, this isn't a rotation loaded with 3 guaranteed October aces. It's deep, it's talented, and it's balanced. But a championship rotation still needs a lockdown bullpen in October, run support from a strong lineup, and most importantly, health. We got to stay healthy, guys. And while Imai could absolutely be an important add, a rotation floor raiser, a strikeout weapon, a mid-rotation stabilizer, he's not a one-player championship guarantee. He helps the Cubs chase the playoffs. He could even shine in October, but he's not automatically the guy that puts a ring on your finger. So, again, I'll leave you with this. Imai makes sense for the rotation. He does make the rotation real, but championship takes an entire pitching staff. So you're looking at the rest of those guys and asking them to come in and deliver like they are paid to do. So we'll just see what happens. Again, the winter meetings happen next week. I'll be reporting every day, talking about exactly what we're seeing and what we're hearing from the winter meetings. Tune in, guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You don't want to miss any of those episodes. I'll be recording every night. Might even go live a couple nights just to talk. We'll see what happens. But listen, I appreciate you guys. Until next time, go Cubs, go. Peace.
Thank you for watching another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, the #1 spot for all Chicago Cubs content. Remember to like, share, subscribe for more Cubs content.